What is going on, warriors and farmers of Tamaris? Back again with another Call of Dragons video. In today's episode, we are going to have a look at the brand new Madeline in Call of Dragons. The game developers decided to switch her infantry tag with the overall tag. The video is going to show a bunch of different talent trees. We're going to have a look at best Warpets to use with the new Madeline and all the other good stuff. If you're new here, subscribe for more content, like the video, share it with your friends, drop some comments down below. Let's get right into it. Alright, warriors of Tamaris, today we're gonna have a look at Madeline from Generation 1. The game developers decided to switch her infantry tag with the overall tag. As you can see here, the infantry tag is gone. Now Madeline is overall, PvP and tank. But there is something fishy going on here. The hero is described as overall. Unfortunately, it's only overall for the physical troop type. But we're gonna go over the skills and see what she's capable of doing. Will she be useful anywhere outside infantry? That's what we're going to find out in the video today. We shall begin with the skills and then cover other stuff along the way. So we start off with the rage skill known as the Blessed Blade. Rage cost 1000, grants physical keen, increasing physical attack by 20% for 4 seconds. Also grants a shield which absorbs damage. Shield factor 1200. As you can see here, it grants physical keen. It's not keen. If it was keen alone, it would have been useful with mages as well. Unfortunately, the game developers did not make it that way. I don't know. I'm not sure if they're gonna change it in the future, but I hope they do something to this hero and make her work with mages as well. Going on to the second skill, you got Legion capacity of 15,000 and you have physical damage dealt in the field of 10%. Again, this is physical, which means only cavalry, infantry and archers. Doesn't work with mages, but you still get the troop capacity. When we go over here, you have the Steel Sentinel. This used to be the infantry skill with the infantry tag, but it has been switched. Now it says Legion deals 15% more counterattack damage and gains 15% HP. Works for everyone, which is a good thing. Skill number 4, Piercing Gaze. When the Blessed Blade shield is broken, Madeline is gonna do 300 hero skill damage to 3 surrounding targets. It's pretty good. As of right now, the game developers have, changed the way infantry get merit in the open field. So this AoE skill damage is going to be significant. Moving on to the Awakening skill. With the Awakening skill, it's an extension of this skill right here and the Rage skill. So if the shield is broken, Madeline is gonna get 10% resistance. When Blessed Blade's shield is broken, Madeline deals damage to up to 3 surrounding legions and gains resistance. Damage taken minus 10% for 4 seconds. So you have a minus 10% less damage taken from here, and I think you have another one here as well. Where is it? Is there another less damage taken? Or maybe not. So it's just from here where you get minus 10% less damage taken. So this is Madeline. She is now overall hero. Unfortunately, only overall for the physical troop type. Doesn't work with the mages. Hopefully the devs switch this and make her useful with mages. Kind of like Husk. Let's find Husk and see what I mean. So Husk is overall. He is universal. He works with both mages and physical units. As you can see here, Husk can gain attack bonus. He gains keen. It's not only physical keen, but he gains keen. I hope the devs can do the same with Madeline and make her useful with the mages. If she's useful with the mages, it's going to be a big plus because I can see her fitting in so many places. Let us check out some awesome pairings. When it comes to pairings, I don't really see any changes. Madeline is still going to be an infantry hero. I don't see Madeline working so well with cavalry. It just doesn't work. Cavalry need to go in and do damage as fast as possible, so you don't really need the shield when you're fighting with cavalry. And with archers, you also need to go in and do some damage. Madeline would have been excellent with mages because she would just sit from afar and give mages the defense that they need to do damage for a long period of time. She would have been excellent for the mages. Unfortunately, the devs have restricted her to physical. I don't know if they're gonna make any changes in the future, but I hope they do it. Anyways, let us see what kind of pairings you're gonna use with Madeline. The first thing that comes to mind is going to be Madeline and Garwood. These are the two dynamic duo of season 1. So you need to pair them together. Where is Garwood? I don't see him. I need glasses. Okay, yeah, Madeline and Garwood, that is good. Oh, come on. Okay, here he is. Yep, Madeline and Garwood, they work well together. They don't have a lot of skill damage, but they can survive. I think they are the longest surviving infantry in the game. Garwood with this healing effect, they just go on for a very, very long time. Next pairing would be Madeline and Husk. That's another good one. We got Madeline pairing up with Husk to do some nice counter-attack crit rate against your enemies. You know, Madeline can last for a long time. And as of right now, the devs have given infantry some good merits. So Madeline and Husk is going to be very promising with the counter-attack crit rate. Again, for infantry, they are going to have a crazy troop capacity. Both Madeline and Husk, I think their troop capacity is around 345,000. I think that's going to be very, very useful in doing counter-attack against your enemies. And then another pair that comes to mind is going to be Madeline and Nika. Nika also has a counter-attack damage bonus. Where is it? Not this one. We got this skill right here. Counter-attack damage bonus of 20%. You combine that with the 15% for Madeline, making it 35%. You're going to do some good stuff. And Nika can also do some hero skill damage. And since the infantry merits has been changed in the open field, these two pairings are going to be good, you know, for getting you some merits. Another pair that comes to mind is going to be Madeline and Bahorn. I think Bahorn is going to be better than Madeline and Nika, because Bahorn can do triple AoE hero skill damage. He can get some rage. He's got nice defense, so he can penetrate the enemy attack of 10%. He's got 10% defense and 15% counter attack. He got some good stuff, man. That's going to work well with Madeline in the open field. Again, infantry merits has been changed. It's going to be a matter of time before we find out which combinations are better for getting some merits. What else can we use here? We got Mr. Danfeld to pair with Madeline. It's going to work well. You got the likes of Musiang. You got the likes of Thea as well. You can pair with Madeline. You got this hero right here, Skogul. In terms of Goresh, I don't think Goresh works well with Madeline, because Goresh is going to overwrite this kin that we have here for Madeline. You also have some epic heroes that you can use with your Madeline. So these are all the good pairings for Madeline. Now let's say hypothetically, the game developers decided to make this hero work with mages. Who is she gonna pair with? Number one pair that comes to mind is going to be Musiang and Madeline. Okay, Musiang and Madeline with the visage, I think should be very good for PvP. And then you have Madeline and Lilia. Might be another good one in case the devs decided to make Madeline universal for everybody. Up next, we're going to have a look at some artifacts that you can use with the new Madeline. So we're going to go over here and find the dragon scale armor. This one right here. This is the number one artifact for Madeline, especially with infantry. I don't really recommend Madeline with cavalry or archers. You need to use her with infantry. So we got this artifact. It has an additional effect. When you gain a shield, you take minus 18% ranged damage taken, which is pretty good. And we have a shield factor of 4,500. This shield factor is going to be excellent with the stripe bear when we get to the Warped section. We're going to discuss everything that you need to know. The good thing is you can get this artifact from Titan Legacy. So for 5 seasons, you can max out this artifact and get 4,500 shield factor that you're going to use with the stripe bear. Again, we're going to talk about it in a little bit. So let's go down here and see what else you can use with your Madeline. Again, I don't recommend her with cavalry or archers. You can try Madeline and Husk. It might work okay, but I don't know. Or Musiang and Madeline, or Kinara and Madeline. I don't know if you want to try it out. I think you're going to limit yourself. Madeline would have been excellent with mages. So let's go check out some other artifacts. We have this hammer as well. It's going to work so well with Madeline because it can stun the enemy stun 5 enemies. They cannot do anything. They cannot launch a counter attack. Excellent artifact for the open field. You also have this artifact that works with Garwood, and you can pair him with Madeline and get some good stuff. There are plenty of awesome artifacts here. You can use the blink artifact to blink into enemies and prevent them from escaping. So you got a lot of options to use for your Madeline. It's just gonna depend on who you are going to pair her with. Alright, Warriors of Tamaris, it's time to check out the Warpets for Madeline in Call of Dragons. The number one Warpet for Madeline is not going to be the Venomous Lizard. It is this pet that you see right here. We have ignored this pet for a very long time. I'm going to be making a guide for this pet. It might be the next video after this one. This pet is absolutely brilliant. So what is it gonna do? It says when your Legion gains a shield, your Warpet gains Primitive Strike, 40% chance to deal damage to the target Legion upon being hit by a normal attack for 5 seconds. So let's stop over here. If you don't pay attention, you're gonna think this skill is only going to hit the person that you're fighting. But it turns out this skill actually hits multiple enemies. Now I have tested it in so many places and it has been hitting like 3 targets. Like people who are targeting my Madeline when the shield is triggered. This is a very big deal. And if you guys remembered, I showed you that the Dragon Scale armor has a shield factor of 4,500. This is ridiculous. Well, guess what? This shield factor is going to trigger the Stripe Bear. And the Stripe Bear is going to use that 4,500 damage factor, shield factor, to do damage over a period of 5 seconds. So every time you gain a shield, that shield is going to do damage for 5 seconds, regardless of whether the shield has been lost due to taking too much damage. So Madeline's shield is 1200 factor. Let's say she gets that shield and then someone hits her and she loses that shield. That shield has triggered this skill. This skill has a timer of 5 seconds. It's gonna keep working regardless of whether the shield is active or not. And the shield factor is going to be 1200. Well, guess what? This thing is going to hit more than 3 legions, if I'm not mistaken. I've done some testing and it does AoE damage. It is pretty good. So I think Madeline is going to be working so well with this pet. I would recommend this pet over the Venomous Lizard for Madeline. But we're going to have to test. Like for now, you can use your Venomous Lizard, which is the number one pet for infantry for open field. But this Stripe Bear has potential. If you're going to be using Madeline for garrison, you might want to try and build this pet for your garrison. You're going to be surprised at what it's going to do. Especially if you get the end of season skill. That's going to increase this activation chance all the way maybe up to 60%. This is a big deal, guys. We have been sleeping on this pet for no reason. It is excellent. I'm going to make a guide for it next after this video, I believe. So we got other options that you can use for Madeline here. I think number one is this one right here, the Stripe Bear. And then the second one would be the Venomous Lizard. And then you can try this pet, the counterattack pet. The one that takes forever to trigger in the open field. Where is it? This one right here, the Bruin Bear. Bruin Bear takes a long time to activate in the field. So in terms of strength, I think Stripe Bear is number one. Especially with the Dragon Scale armor. If you have it at level 5 with that 4,500 shield factor, you got something good in your hands. And then second one is going to be Venomous Lizard. And then third one is this one right here. And then you can try the Sun Lizard if you want some healing. What else do we have here? If you have Garwood in your lineup, you can try this Stripe Bear. Wait a minute. What's this bear called? Frost Bear. Okay. So I think I've been saying different things. Yep, it's the Frost Bear. I've been saying Stripe Bear. Forgive my mistake, guys. The Frost Bear is the number one. And then the Stripe Bear is number 4 on the list. Frost Bear 1. We got this one, number 2. And then number 3 is going to be this one right here. Number 4 would be the Sun Lizard. Number 5 would be this one. If you're going to use Garwood. What else do we have here? If you're going to use with mages or archers, it's going to depend on the person that you're going to pair up with Madeline. But do not underestimate this pet right here, the Frost Bear. This thing is beautiful with the dragon scale armor and the 1200 shield factor of Madeline. With all of that out of the way, let us check out some talent trees that you can use with Madeline. Unfortunately, Madeline is not good with cavalry and archers, so you're gonna have to use her with infantry. The first one, we're gonna have a look at the tank tree. I call it universal tank tree. Let's see what we picked. We got this, you pick this, you come here, you grab this. You grab march speed. I like march speed because it's gonna make your hero move and get to the enemy a little bit faster, especially for infantry. It is very crucial. If your infantry is very slow, it's gonna get killed before it even hits any enemy. So yeah, march speed is important. If you don't like it, go with this defense. Over here we take adrenaline rush. Remember, this is a universal tank tree build. I did not pick the skill damage because there are some heroes that you can pair with Madeline that don't do any skill damage. For example, Garwood and Mr. Husk. So this would be a good pick up. Over here, I decided to go with Spirited Response. You get 4 rage every second. Can be useful, help you get to your next rage skill cycle a little bit faster. Otherwise, you can go with the Guardian Angel. Every time you enter battle, you gain resistance of 4% for 10 seconds. This is very good when you're getting targeted by like 50 people at the same time. It can be quite useful. Now we go to the tank tree, you get the overall defense. Again, I like march speed, but if you don't like it, you can go with the skill damage or reduce the amount of counterattack damage that you take, because you're going to be fighting a bunch of Gorish and Skogul, and as you know, they do double counterattack. So this could be something to use. Over here you take Encouraging Dance. This one is going to trigger so many times because so many people are going to be hitting you, so you have high chance of triggering it a lot. And then here we're going to go with Impregnable Defense. Your Legion gains shelter when entering battle, increasing their defense by 5% for 10 seconds. This is good when you're going to be instantly targeted by more than 50 people. Now, if you're going to be fighting a few people, then I would suggest Unyielding Spirit. Either one of these two skills is good. Just pick the one that you think looks compelling for you. And then here I decided to go at the bottom, grab the defense. And then, you know, hero skill damage reduction of 4%. And then hero skill damage taken reduction of 8%. So all enemies who are hitting you are going to do 8% less hero skill damage. And then here you can take this Clocked Wrath. Your Legion gains 2 more rage when their unit count is over 50% and they launch a normal attack. The reason I didn't pick it is because this is a universal tank tree for anyone. So there will be situations when you go into the field and you die in less than 10 seconds. So this skill would be a waste of time. So this is why I went with Solid Shield. Increase your Legion's shield received by 5%. So what is this gonna do for you? It's gonna make your Madeline have a stronger shield. It's gonna make your Dragon Scale armor have a much stronger shield as well, I believe. And it's gonna make your pet, the Frost Bear, do even more damage because of this 5%. So I think it's a good skill to have. Moving on to the end, you have the Vitality. Your Legion receives healing factor 80 when casting rage skill. If you're using Madeline and Garwood, they take forever to die. So you're gonna be helping yourself out with this skill. Otherwise, you can go with this one. Your Legion takes 8% less normal attack damage when the unit count is below 50%. Again, this one is also good, but I like this one. So this is talent tree number 1. We have 1 point left. You're gonna have to decide where you wanna put it. Where would I drop it? I might drop it here, or I can put it here. It's just gonna depend. Let's move on to the next talent tree. Our second talent tree is going to be the overall talent tree. So let's check it out. We have already discussed this part of the talent tree. As you can see over here, I decided to go with the Unyielding Spirit. Again, you can pick whichever one you like, whichever one is good for you. And then here we picked this, we picked this. And then we grabbed Intimidation. Over here we grabbed the Guardian Angel to reduce the damage that you take. And then we came here, we increased the shield that we get. This is gonna work well with the Dragon Scale armor and the pet, which is pretty good. It can also work well with Garwood or Moose Young. because she does some healing, so it's pretty good. Over here, I decided to go with emergency triage because you can use this with, you know, even your cavalry if you want, or archers. Otherwise, if you're going to be using infantry only, you also have this option to reduce the amount of counterattack damage that you take. Remember, your infantry is going to be fighting a bunch of Goresh and Skogul, and Goresh and Skogul can do double counterattack every second. So this skill could be quite useful. You can switch this with this if you don't like the severely wounded reduction in your legion. 10% reduction. This is huge, guys. This is going to help you push your infantry on the field over and over and over. I think it's good. You should keep this one. And then moving on, we have no choice but to get hasty retreat, because this one is locked to cavalry and this one is locked to marksman. So yeah, I don't like this talent tree branch. It doesn't look so good. We go to the end, we get the cornered rat. Who is a rat? I ain't no rat. Are you a rat? When your legion's unit count is less than 50%, they deal 2% more damage, okay? So when you find a rat that is wounded, it's got nothing to lose. You mess with it, you get the teeth. And you get rabies. Is it rabies? I don't even know, man. So we go over here, we got Thunder Fury. When casting rage skills, your legion gains Keen and Shelter, increasing their attack by 4% and their defense by 3% for 5 seconds. This effect can be triggered once every 30 seconds. So 30 seconds is a lot of time. Your infantry is probably going to be dead within 10 seconds. So I don't know about this skill, man. This one is much better. The cornered rat. You don't want to mess with a rat that is wounded and ready to do some damage. So this is the overall tree for Madeline. Unfortunately, I don't recommend Madeline for cavalry and archers, but you can use her with your infantry. Next talent tree on the list is the one I call DPS. This is what it looks like. It is a combination of rage and hero skill damage. Let's start off with the left hand side, the overall tree. I think you're familiar with everything here. We got the hero skill damage. So this talent tree would be good for Madeline and Nika as a deputy, Madeline and Bahon as a deputy, Madeline and Indis, or Madeline and this other hero, Musiang. So we're gonna go here and we're gonna grab Spirited Response. You get 4 rage every second. And then we come to the tank tree. We get hero skill damage. As you can see, I skipped this march speed and got this march speed instead. Here we go with Encouraging Dance, which is pretty good. And then we went with Unyielding Spirits, get some hero skill damage taken reduction. We get march speed. I like the march speed. The faster you can move, the faster you can start touching the enemy and doing some damage. So yeah, march speed is good, especially for infantry. If you're too slow, you will get killed before you even get close to any of your enemies. And then here we go with overall attack of 2%. Since this is a DPS talent tree, I think this is going to be useful. And then you have the Cloaked Wrath, giving you 10 rage every second. If you're going to be fighting in a situation where there aren't a lot of enemies, this is going to be very, very useful. And then at the end, you grab the Vitality, which is pretty good. We got 1 point left. I could drop it here to get 3 rage every time I gain a buff effect. It could be useful. That 3 rage could be what you need to get to the next rage skill cycle as fast as possible. So you never know. You can just put this anywhere that you like. So these are the 3 talent trees for Madeline that you can try if you want. I think there is one more that I need to show you. This last talent tree is a little bit different. It's from the Roots of War section. I don't know if I should recommend it, but let me know down below if you think it's compelling. It's also going to be useful for infantry. It's a counter-attack build, a mix of counter-attack and some hero skill damage. So we're going to take advantage of the PvP tree. This is what the talent tree looks like. You pick these points. We have discussed most of them. So you got skill damage here. You got Spirited Response to get 4 rage every second. And then over here, you got damage dealt bonus of 1.5%. And then when we go to the PvP tree, you have another damage dealt bonus of 1.5%, giving you 3% damage dealt bonus. As of right now, infantry merits has changed in the open field. We still don't know how it works, but we're gonna figure it out. Who knows? This could be a good talent tree to use. You're gonna have 2 points left, and we dropped it here to reduce the amount of counterattack damage that you take, especially when you are locked in battle with those Goresh and Skogul in the front line. You should be taking less counterattack damage. Now this talent tree is a mix of damage dealt with counterattack. You got Fearless right here. That's gonna give you another 5% counterattack damage dealt on the field. Since your Madeline is going to be lasting long on the field, this is gonna be useful. Here we went with the head held high. You get some rage when you're fighting. Otherwise, you can go with Fury Flame if you like. You also have other good skill here on the sides that you can use. As you can see here, I decided to go with March Speed. I like March Speed, man. Makes you get to the enemy faster. For infantry, if you don't, you die before you get close. So I think this is pretty significant. We got the attack, and this is what the talent tree looks like. I call it all over the place. You can give it a shot if you want. You never know. Infantry merits has changed. Who knows? Maybe the combination of strength to strength and another strength to strength, they will stack to give you 3% damage dealt plus a 5% counterattack damage dealt. Could be useful with the new infantry merits in PvP. So I think that's it for Madeline right now. She has been changed. She used to be infantry. Now she is overall hero. I just hope the developers can make this Madeline work with mages as well. She's going to be so versatile if she can work with the mage troop type, which means devs should change this physical attack into attack only. Make it keen and not physical keen. And we are good to go. And by the way, guys, I'm going to remind you guys again, do not sleep on this Frost Bear. This pet is excellent. It can do AoE hits. So yeah, you might want to check it out. I'm going to study this pet. I'm going to make a guide for it. Probably the next video if I get a lot of good stuff to tell you guys. In terms of the artifact, you go with the dragon scale armor. So this is everything that we need to know about Madeline, from infantry to overall, a skill that works with everybody. She is amazing for the open field. Thank you guys for watching. If you're new, subscribe for more content. Until then, see you guys in the next one. Bye bye for now.